Like, you're such a, I bet
It's
you're
about
going to
Chris
turn by
Cuomo.
10 minutes to see, this is all you do. Why would you ever bring that piece of, I mean, it was like, brother, it was insane.
Who is saying this?
I don't even want to say it, but
Tell me.
trust me, it's the cream of the
This is
crop.
valuetainment.
Everybody was saying about us bringing Cuomo in here, right? And when we brought Cuomo in, we
that's,
did a couple live podcasts with him and Candace, with him and Dave
October
Smith. He sat down with Dave Smith.
25th,
It was a tough one.
2024.
Oh, yeah. He was in a lion's, to be honest with you.
Hey, yeah.
It was. I don't know if anybody
brutal.
was for him, except maybe 10 people were for him
Yeah.
in the room, and he came around. And then yesterday, he's doing a town hall, Rob. If you got this clip with J.D. Vance,
Yeah.
and he's what a great moment, right? When he's with J.D. and he says, "Hey, matter of fact, I'll just let you watch this for yourself, and I want you to react to this. So go ahead. Here's Chris Cuomo. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Not unlike Beetlejuice. If you invoke the former president's names too many times in a row,
Oh no.
he's going to want to weigh in on what is being said about him. We have a call right now from former President Donald John Trump. He wants to weigh in. Mr. President, I know there's a little bit of a delay. Can you hear us? And what is your question for the senator?
Well, I can hear you, Chris, and I do have a question, and I think it'll be quite an interesting one. The answer should be easy. How brilliant is Donald J. Trump?
Cheryl's not happy at all.
Take your time.
Well, first of all, sir, this is supposed to be undecided voters. I would hope that I have your vote of all people. But here's first of all, sir, of course you're very brilliant, and we both agree. We both agree that it's important to have very smart people running our government. But here's the thing about President Trump that aside of you, sir, if you'll forgive me for telling this story that I think often people don't see. And of course, I got my beautiful wife here in the front row. And one of my favorite moments with President Trump is we were hosting an event for him near our home in Cincinnati a few months ago. And of course, my wife was a little bit nervous to really, talk to the President of the United States. And he asked her, what do you think about your husband being in public service? And she gives, if you know my wife, a very diplomatic answer. Sir, he really cares about the people of Ohio. He's thrilled to be able to serve them, and I'm happy to support him however I can. And President Trump chuckles and goes, yeah, my wife hates it too. and the thing that it did is it just immediately broke the barrier. And it wasn't the former president, it was just a person talking to my wife, and I think you guys were able to have a nice conversation. But that ability to relate to anybody in any environment, I think that's the true brilliance of Donald J. Trump.
That's it in a nutshell. And all those crazy people who call him the devil just really need to open their minds and shut their mouths.
How are you individually yourself, processing what's happened with Cuomo after leaving CNN, fired, Don Lemon himself, him going to News Nation, him coming on, him doing all. Who is Chris Cuomo to you guys now?
So remember, Patrick, I knew all of these people, and I knew them pre-politics, right? Erin Brunette, she'd come over to Trump Tower, she'd have lunch with us all the time, right?
They
You
were
mentioned
friends
Mika and Joe
because
the other day.
Donald
Mika and Joe
was a
really
Democrat.
They'd go down
Donald
there,
respected
on
their
weekends. They spent
father.
a tremendous amount of time down there. They were in our office all the time. I mean, they absolutely loved us. Donnie Deutsch, I used to do Donnie Deutsch's show all the time when he was on CNBC. I'd go across to Fort Lee these people absolutely adored us until one moment. And that's when my father stepped foot on, I don't even think he said a word at that point. He stepped foot on that escalator, and then all of a sudden the light switch just shut off. And I knew Chris very, very well. I knew him before CNN. I knew him at CNN. I did a show a ton of times in 2016 and all the years on CNN. And now I still go on a show on News Nation. And what's really remarkable is kind of the ebbs and flows of these people, right? On CNN, he had one gear, and that's anti-Trump. And now all of a sudden he realizes that he's no longer at CNN and no longer really works for his persona. And he's actually doing much better today than I think he ever was. He's actually gained kind of a following because, and I actually enjoy going on his show. It's good, sometimes he
I
debates.
still don't trust Chris.
When he wasn't
Don't
sensible on
trust
CNN
him
whatsoever. And so,
or his
the
brother,
problem is
because what they did with the elderly people
at
in
some
New
point
York
you gotta look at
State
your heart and soul and
and the
actually
people
be
who were
sincere
sent
as an
back to the
individual
nursing
and
homes
have
to die.
conviction.
I can't forget
You
that.
kind of can't bop and weave, and that's
Okay,
what creates
signing
this
off.
trust.